Where are we right now?
We're standing on the, this is where that whole quote unquote assault happened, when they tried to jump me. Old head came running from right there, and that's when the infamous let me get a drop my G went down.
The Breakfast Club is one of the most important institutions in hip-hop. Their extended interviews of famous rappers give a deep insight into the thought processes of all of your favorite artists, as well as occasionally descending into a hip-hop rendition of The Jerry Springer Show.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Charlamagne's insightful and well thought out takes on the current events and tragedies of the day often give hip-hop the support and motivation that it needs to move past a time of darkness. And who could forget the legendary segment Donkey of the Day, where Charlamagne, flanked by his co-hosts Angela Yee and DJ Envy, dole out admonishment on whoever has been the biggest clown of the culture that day. It's no surprise then, considering the amount of incendiary shots that Charlamagne has made over the years, that eventually the day would come that the only thing on the Breakfast Club menu would be a knuckle sandwich. On July of 2012, some goons rolled up to the Breakfast Club studio and started asking Charlamagne if they could get a drop before attempting to drop him. Now, Charlamagne escaped pretty unscathed after catching what looked like a wrist shot to the back of his head, and then immediately fleeing to safety like a startled Pokemon in Viridian Forest. But why on earth would somebody want to come around throwing wrists at Charlamagne the God? Well, much like rappers over the years, it seems that radio stations have their own beefs too. The Breakfast Club is hosted on the New York-based Power 105, and their closest rivals are the legendary hip-hop powerhouse Hot 97. For many years, Hot 97 held the crown as the kings of hip-hop in New York. But after the Breakfast Club launched in 2010, it didn't take long for beef to start simmering. Now, there's a lot of different facets to the beef between Hot 97 and the Breakfast Club, so for the purposes of this video, we're only going to focus on the aspects of that beef that led to Charlamagne's eventual beatdown. Now, the problems mainly started in 2010 when Charlamagne decided to give Donkey of the Day to Hot 97 DJ Cypher Sounds, aka Jimmy Fallon's overweight twin. He did this in response to some misguided comments that Cypher Sounds made, suggesting that the reason that he didn't have HIV was because he didn't sleep with Haitian women.
I'm sure you've heard about the comment toward Haitian women that Cypher Sounds made last week, Friday, December 17th. I'm not going to repeat it because I would never let such hate come out of my mouthpiece, but I will let you hear it.
They're trying to stop the spread of AIDS in Haiti.
I don't mess with Haitian girls, so I'm fine.
This was the same year as the devastating earthquakes in Haiti, and came across as incredibly misguided and definitely deserving of a donkey. So these were the first shots fired, but they didn't necessarily lead to an immediate escalation. But a few months later, a sensational story started coming out of Hot 97's office. In 2011, it came out that Hot 97 DJ and perennial laughingstock Mr. C had been caught soliciting sex from a transsexual prostitute. Charlamagne reported on this the next day, and during his show, he called out Mr. C for having been arrested twice for loitering for the purpose of soliciting prostitution.
Now, yesterday we reported on Mr. C being caught with a transvestite. We found out this morning via the post in the Daily News that he's been arrested twice before for loitering for the purpose of prostitution.
After this initial diss, fellow Hot 97 DJ, veteran of the hip-hop radio scene, and I can only assume also veteran of World War I, Funkmaster Flex decided to weigh in on the issue, defending Mr. C and throwing some subliminal shots at the Breakfast Club.
I know over there in that building, greasy talk, huh? And they know the two people I'm talking about over there.
So the day after that, Charlamagne decided to give Flex the Donkey of the Day and call him out for his subliminal disses, giving him the moniker Flex Hogan.
Let's be clear, you can huff, you can puff, but the only thing getting blowed down is Mr. C by transsexuals. He's too old to still be getting topped off in cars and cruising the block for prostitutes. Same way you too old, Flex, to be throwing subliminals. Subliminals are so 90s.
Now, it's worth noting at this point that it's very interesting that Charlamagne decided to get tangled in this story, as way back in 2007, when he was a co-host with Wendy Williams, he was already clowning on DJ Mr. C for rumors that even back then he had had relationships with transsexual women.
He went into the apartment next to mine. Wendy? A tranny lives in that apartment. I couldn't believe was having sex with a tranny.
Now, this beef simmered for a couple of months, but was later reignited after another Hot 97 DJ and failed attempt at crossbreeding both Pitbull and Joe Budden, Peter Rosenberg decided to diss Nicki Minaj on stage at Summer Jam Festival.
I know there's some chicks here waiting to sing Starships later. I'm not talking to y'all right now. Fuck that bullshit. I'm here to talk about real hip-hop shit.
After this, the head honcho of Nicki Minaj's label Young Money, Lil Wayne, decided to pull all of the Young Money artists from that Hot 97 festival. This came as a huge shock to everyone, especially Lil Wayne's 4 baby mamas, who know he's never one to pull out. But at the end of the day, Wayne said he felt disrespected and he wanted to pull everyone, and Nicki Minaj said she was riding with Wayne. After this, Old Man Flex jumped back on the stage at Summer Jam and dissed Nicki Minaj, saying that he would end her career.
I ain't with commercial rappers no more. You lost the street, it's your fault. You don't go gold, it's your fault. I'm dedicated to tearing you down.
Not too long after this whole drama, Nicki Minaj decided to call into Hot 97 and have a chat with Funk Flex. And for a little while, things seemed like they were getting ironed out until Funk Flex decided to turn on her.
We exchanged some emails, me and you. At first, we didn't have the nicest things to say to each other. We calmed down a little bit, and then we were able to get on the phone and discuss some things a little bit. So we were able to get to having you on the radio, and I appreciate you checking in.
I've respected you guys for how long? When you needed me to come and do your MTV show, like I told you last night when I was in there in the snowstorm, and you were telling me who didn't do it, and I'm not gonna say on there, but it's all the good,
Where you taking me? Where you taking me now? You mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me?
After that, the Breakfast Club decided to throw some shade at Funkmaster Flex and give him Donkey of the Day. Charlamagne threw a double dose on Funkmaster Flex during this segment by suggesting that he was a bitch for walking back his statements on Nicki.
And he did what he always done when confronted.
What's that?
Tucks his penis between his legs and turns into a hoe.
And suggesting that he only talks tough with women.
You are a bitch, my brother, and I've told you before, you will never ever confront a man. You will never get at a guy the way you get at chicks. Lil Wayne made the call to pull Young Money from the show.
And also bringing up his history of domestic violence.
You putting your hands on women has been well documented.
So Flex decided to clap back and did a 5-hour show on Hot 97, pretty much crammed with disses and disrespect towards the Breakfast Club.
New York City, you remember that little smurf was talking about me earlier this week?
But the main areas of disrespect that he brought up included Charlamagne's dad getting arrested for tasing somebody at a Dallas Cowboys game.
And I heard your pops is out here tasing people.
He also brought up past allegations that Diddy had actually had Charlamagne fired from his previous hosting job.
Diddy got you fired in Philadelphia, right? For talking funny to Cassie?
As well as making claims that Charlamagne was robbed at South Carolina nightclub.
The information on that robbery in South Carolina when you went in the bathroom at the nightclub and the promoters robbed you.
In response to this, the Breakfast Club decided to double down on their exposure of Funkmaster Flex for his domestic violence cases. DJ Envy of the Breakfast Club posted a picture on his Instagram showing the restraining order that Funk Flex's wife had got out against him after the domestic violence case, and they went on to ether Funk Flex a whole bunch on their show.
He previously did abuse another radio personality, Steph Lover, who did formerly work at Power 105.
You beating a woman is much worse than being a snitch or getting robbed or my pops tasing people. Mr. C likes transsexuals and you beat women. Don't none of y'all over there like girls.
After that explosive expose, Funk Flex took to the airwaves once again in a segment where he dropped so many explosions, I couldn't tell if he'd recorded it in a studio or at an RPG testing range in Baghdad. To be honest, it's a pretty pathetic response that doesn't really address any of the allegations made against him and basically just calls them all out for being cracked.
You cracked, man!
As well as being snitches.
Talking about releasing calls and paperwork. Go ahead, man! That's what snitches do!
And calling DJ Envy out because his dad was a cop. After this, Charlamagne broke down the beef and denied the allegations that Funk Flex had made whilst he was on DJ Vlad's YouTube channel.
Number one, you're not real. You're not from the streets. Number two, you're a snitch. Number three, you got robbed, and number four, you're gay. He hit me with all of them except for one, which is the gay one. And the reason he couldn't hit me with that is because his man, Mr. C, done been caught with trannies a couple times, so he don't even want to open that door.
Charlamagne even went so far to address Funk Flex's allegations that Charlamagne wasn't a real street dude by suggesting that he doesn't want to be a street dude and his goal is to sell out and take things to the next level.
I'm trying to sell out. Like, yo, I'm just waiting for somebody to buy in.
After that, Peter Rosenberg decided to weigh in and suggest that Charlamagne was corny for wanting to go mainstream.
He said, I want to sell out. He said, I want to sell out. I want to cross over. That's corny.
Then, a few days after this, Charlamagne decides to take things to the next level and secure his place in the history book as one of the realest dudes out here by completely destroying Funk Flex's woman-beating ass in the amazing video, What If Funkmaster Flex Told the Truth?
What if Funkmaster Flex told the truth?
This was a pretty savage video and it had some damning allegations in it. This included calling Funkmaster Flex out for beating 2 women, including a woman that he used to work with at the radio station as well as his wife.
He's a habitual woman beater Emphasis on bitch. He tell you that he was arrested in 2011 for assaulting his wife? Would he tell you that he attempted to throw his wife out of the house naked? The only reason he was found not guilty of these charges was because his wife didn't want his daughter to have to testify.
Getting a pistol put in his mouth for dissing Tupac?
Would he tell you how he got a pistol put in his mouth for this disrespectful rant he made against legendary hip-hop icon Tupac?
And even hits him with a reversal for his snitching allegations by pointing out that Funkmaster Flex himself dry snitched on Pistol Pete.
Would he apologize to Terror Squad affiliate Pistol Pete for dry snitching on him on NYC radio? How can you get on the radio and tell the world that Pistol Pete committed a crime, Funkmaster Flex?
Now, you can't put something out there like that in the universe without expecting somebody to clap back. Not a day goes by that I don't expect somebody to clap back at me for the many insults that I put out there. But much like Charlamagne, I'm Mo Farah with my sprints, so there's no way anyone's gonna catch me. So the next week at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 11th of July, 2012, 5 overweight, middle-aged goons were waiting outside the Breakfast Club for Charlamagne.
What's good, my G? Can I get a drop?
What's up with y'all in these drops, man?
I need a drop, son. Ooh. I need a drop, baby. What's up? Come on. Let's get a drop.
In that now famous video, these goons run up on Charlamagne asking him if they can get a drop. If you don't know what that means, a drop is basically a little snippet of audio or video that's usually used at the start of a project where somebody famous gives a shout out in order to give that whole project just a little more clout.
Getting this cocaine city, I stay on that hot shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't fuck the other DVDs because they really ain't got no circulation.
In fact, for any rappers or goons out there looking for a drop from Trap Lord Ross, look no further, because here is a stock off the shelf drop for you to use in any project you like. What's good, guys? Trap Lord Ross here. I just want to give a huge shout out to insert name here. They are dope. Make sure that you go and check out their new project, insert project here. Peace. So these goons started swinging on Charlamagne and he decided to channel his inner Tay-K and do the race. Running across roads, dodging cars, looking like a hip-hop version of the game Frogger. And luckily, he got away unscathed. Charlamagne seemed to stay in pretty good spirits about the whole thing, and he even later appeared in an interview with thisis50.com after actually giving them a drop.
Yep, this is Charlamagne the God, the Hood General, voice of the gutter when I speak the streets listening. Right now you're watching thisis50.com. Motherfuckers can say whatever they want. Oh, Charlamagne ran like a bitch, whatever. I retreated. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let people get the day so you can have tomorrow.
He basically confirmed his belief that this incident was the direct result of him putting out that Funkmaster Flex video.
Cause you gotta think, I had just put out the What If Funkmaster Flex Told the Truth video that Friday.
So the Hot 97 beef simmered on in different ways over the years, but seemingly no more violence came out of the situation. So that is the story of why Charlamagne caught a flick of the wrist outside of the Breakfast Club. Luckily, Charlamagne didn't let this clout-chasing clownery slow down his momentum. He always saw the funny side, and he even recorded this amazing skit with the game.
Hey, Charlamagne, can I get a drop? I got an album coming out. He don't do drops?
I don't know why you don't want to do a job. We'll give you one. All right.
All right.
Good to see you. I don't know.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe below. Hit that notification bell so you can see every single time I upload. And if you've been enjoying my work, I would definitely recommend you check out my Patreon account. In fact, I'm actually planning on taking any of the videos that I've had copyright problems with in the past and just making those exclusive videos for anybody that is supporting me on Patreon. So if you want to see some classic videos that are no longer available on my channel, like why Jay-Z shot his brother at age 12, or why Eminem and Kanye West were working together in 1999, then definitely check the link in the description and go and support my Patreon account to grab those videos. Also, if you want to support my channel to the fullest, definitely make sure you check out my store and go and cop a Trap Lord Ross t-shirt. I would really appreciate it, and thanks again to everybody that's been copping those and supporting the channel recently. So until next time, thanks very much for watching and peace out.